This is a short story about grief and home exchange. The requests came thick and fast. Gemma installed the home exchange app on Nell's phone, and it pinged with proposals from Montreal to Sydney, from Donegal to La Réunion. Nell had to look up where that last one was. An island in the middle of the Indian Ocean, according to Google. Sure, what in God's name would those people want in County Tipperary? But everyone had their reasons. Some wanted to visit their child on school exchange in the town. Others were looking to extend a stay after a conference in Dublin. The American requests were usually over the top and airy-fairy, full of pitches about a deep-rooted desire to visit the homeland. Nell said no to them all. Gemma was perplexed and then annoyed. You have to give people a chance. You wanted this, didn't you? Nell wondered. She had first heard of home exchange when Nancy from the folk choir had boasted about it years before, bragging how much money she saved going to the continent each year for weeks on end. It's like you're really living in the place, not just on holidays, Nancy had said. You know, going out to the local bakery for baguettes and coffee, that sort of thing. Nell had liked the sound of that, stepping into a different life, sampling a stranger's world. But now that it came to it, no match seemed right. You're just going to have to open your mind a little, ma'am. No match will be perfect, remember? Gemma sighed on the other end of the phone, and for a split second, it was as though Gerald was on the line, grumbling at her indecision. In the end, Gemma took matters into her own hands. She arrived back from Dublin one weekend with her laptop and set up at Nell's kitchen table. Look here, this place is ideal. Nell leaned over her daughter's shoulder. Gemma pointed at the photographs of a pretty apartment on Spain's Costa del Azahar. Train to Cork, taxi to the airport, flight to Valencia, Uber up the coast. Simple. Nell wrung her fingers together. She'd never learned to drive. Gerald hadn't seen the need for it. Sure, you live in a town, woman, he'd said. The logistics of the holiday seemed overwhelming. All those modes of transport, all that swapping and changing between trains, planes, taxis, and for what? It seemed like a big fuss, an unnecessary extravagance. Maybe she'd just go to her sister's mobile home in Carradaniel instead. I don't know, pet. Gemma clicked into the profile of the family. They seem normal enough. Teachers, 2 teenage kids, and look, they've a 5-star rating. Nell peered at their photograph. 4 sets of smiling teeth in a wooded area and hiking gear. The mother had the type of face that suited a smile, pretty in an outdoorsy way. The father had his arms thrown around the shoulders of the kids. They seemed relaxed in each other's company. Nell swallowed down a lump in her throat. Gemma looked at her with impatience. Look, I'll come with you, ma'am, obviously. Nell began to protest. No, no, no. But Gemma would hear none of it. It's your first holiday without him, ma'am. I'm coming. The heat at Valencia airport was oven dry. It tasted like burnt biscuits in the back of Nell's throat. No matter how hot it became in Ireland, it always had a dampness to it, a freshness. Not like here, Nell thought. "'Tis roasting," Nell shouted to Gemma as they stood on the air stairs. "It's glorious," Gemma laughed back, her hair whipping behind her as she descended. Gemma was all business at arrivals, ushering Nell into the EU queue, loading their bags onto a trolley before the crowds descended. It had been years since Nell had been abroad. Gerald didn't like to travel much in case he'd missed the GAA. The new tech at Cork Airport would have baffled him, Nell thought. Weighing their own bags, printing their own luggage labels. No, 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 he wouldn't have liked it at all. And the heat here in Spain would have killed him, she decided. She followed her daughters back, weaving through the crowds. They stood together by the curbside taxi rank, and Gemma spoke into her mobile. "You've Spanish now, do you?" Nell asked when she clicked her phone off. "Bits and pieces. I'm learning on an app." When the car arrived, Gemma sat up front. Nell strapped herself into the back seat as Gemma chatted to the taxi driver in broken Spanish and English. The countryside blurred past in tangerines and terracottas. It was a parched land, but there was so much light all round. "Orange groves," the driver looked at her in the rear-view mirror and pointed. "Costa del Azahar is orange blossom coast." Nell looked at the rows and rows of miniature fruit trees. Every so often, large signs for towns loomed above them on the road. From the plain, she'd seen the green dragon of the ocean coiled around the land, but now there was no glimpse of it, just miles and miles of dusty roadside warehouses. She gave up guessing when they would exit the motorway and let her head loll back on the headrest. The car radio was on low, a Spanish talk show just about decipherable above the thrum of the air conditioning. Every so often, the white noise was peppered with her daughter's laughter. Nell felt her limbs grow heavy. A great tiredness washed over her. She closed her eyes. She dreamt of the sea. Thank you. Thanks.